Hey there, it is Kirsten back with the final part, finally, to my company audition series. This is part 6, and I feel like I've been filming this for 300 years. It has been 3 weeks, going strong, of 2 videos a week, so I'm ready to finally conclude this series, and I really hope it's been helpful for you guys. Today I'm going to talk about something that a lot of people don't consider. They think, okay, the end is auditions and then you get your contract and you're done and you have your job and live happily ever after. Sadly, sorry to shake your boat or rock your boat or whatever the phrase is, the process usually does not end there, and I do want to address the current trend in the dance world, where people just don't hand out contracts anymore for the most part. I mean, there's like the lucky person here or there that will be handed a contract right after the audition, but if you're talking about an actual company position as an apprentice or like quarter ballet member or something like that, and not a traineeship or second company, something along those lines, you often have to be invited to the summer program for the company, and then they consider you there, and you spend like 3 to 6 weeks dancing for them as an extended audition, and the process continues, and you're still in limbo, not knowing what you're going to do for the year or if you have a job or not, and that's just the sad reality. So I do want to get that out there. Sorry for starting that on kind of a sour note, but I just want to be real with you, so that you can set your expectations accordingly and just understand how to be better prepared. So, yes, first I acknowledge that after the audition, you will often get, if it's a yes or working towards a yes, you'll get an email saying we liked your dancing or the director liked your dancing, and we're considering you for this position. They'll hopefully be clear about what position it is, and we would like you to come to our summer program, sometimes on scholarship, sometimes not, in order to be considered for the full-time position. It's pretty sad how that's how it works these days, because it takes a lot more time and resources, time investment, and also emotional investments to get the job. So that's just kind of how it is. But in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to see this process through till the end and hopefully come out with a contract. To be fair though, before I go on, I do want to say that if you audition privately for a company, as in company class and not at a big open audition with a ton of people, you might be considered for a contract right away, like given to you in April or May sometime around then, instead of having to go with all the other applicants to the summer program and then be kind of whittled down in the process from there. So if that does happen, and you are hoping to be a part of a company that you auditioned for in company class, and they do express right away that they're interested in you, make sure to follow up with them. Be in constant communication if possible. Get a date from them, hopefully in person. Ask them this to their face when you talk to the director or whoever it is, which you do really need to do. Don't just walk out of the class and say, well, I hope they email me a contract. That's really just gonna diminish your chances, because you do need to keep up with them. Make sure that they're still thinking about you. Make sure that they're still considering you. The sad thing is that sometimes directors do tell little lies, and they're like, yeah, we really liked your dancing, and then they'll never talk to you again, even if you email them. So when you talk to them, make sure to ask them when is a good time that you can expect to know, like get a yes or no by, so that will give you peace of mind. Because I've known a lot of my friends who have gone through that process, and they're like, yeah, they really liked my dancing. They didn't do good follow-up, and then they never heard from them again. And even if they try and email them afterwards, which you can do if for any reason you can't talk to the person there at the time you audition, it's just kind of harder to get in touch with them, because at that point it's through email, it feels very impersonal. It's often easier for them to just give you a no. So if you audition that way, make sure to always correspond with them. Keep up to date with what's actually going on. Hopefully they would be respectful and tell you, like in my case, the director was very nice and said, okay, you will hear from me by this date, and you won't hear from me if it's a no, but I'll let you know if there are any contracts available, because he made it clear that pretty much they like me, but unless they just basically needed to wait until all of the contracts were handed out, or letters of intent, which is what they are, received back from all the current dancers in the company, where they sign and say, yes, I will sign my contract again, or no, I will not renew. So that also affects the normal audition process of like the open call auditions. That is often why, if you're expecting a contract or some sort of answer after the auditions in the springtime, it usually takes a long time, because they are waiting, the directors are waiting to see if their current dancers will renew their contracts or not, and that will dictate how many spots are left. And hey, if you have something going on where maybe you have another offer, you're trying to make a decision, but you prefer another company that you're still waiting to hear from, and you did an open call audition, never be afraid to just email someone who's high up. Pick the right people to talk to. Sometimes the websites for the companies will list the emails for the different staff of the company. So be strategic in who you email. Try and email someone who has a position of influence where they can tell you yes or no. If they're not the director, maybe talk to someone who consults with the director and could be close enough to ask about the status of whether or not they want to give you a contract or whatever. So yes, never be afraid to communicate. Tell them, just reiterate how interested you are in their company, how you'd really love to work there, but you are needing to know very soon if you're going to get a contract or not. Just basically, don't be afraid to communicate. If there's something you need to know, don't wait and sit around and just go without knowing and cause yourself unnecessary stress. It's really okay to just email people if the email is provided on the website. And I do recommend that if you do go to a company audition that you think you're really going to fall in love with the company and you know you'd like a job there, and maybe they do offer you something. Maybe it's just a small position that you thought you wanted, but maybe now you're not so sure because you're considering another company. Make sure to follow up with them. Like this happened to me. I got an offer from one company that I thought I would have liked to work at, but they didn't have any paid positions left, though they were considering me for a paid position, which was an honor, but they didn't have any left, so they offered me an unpaid position. If this happens to you or anything like that, where a company reaches out to you and you're not interested, make sure to follow through. Be respectful to them because they reached out to you. Even if you don't want it, don't ignore the email. Be a good applicant, a good, just maintain, I don't know, do people say maintain face, maintain your image, I suppose, in front of that company, and just let them know the situation. Thank them for their offer and reaching out to you. Be very kind, but just say up front, this is the situation and I've decided to go with this company, but I really appreciate your consideration and that you reached out to me. Just so that if you come into a situation the next year or sometime later in life where you might want to work with them again, they're not like, oh, you're the person who just blew us off when we gave you an offer. So just make sure to maintain a good status with every company you interact with in all situations, if possible. Now I'm going to address the situation that most of you will probably find yourselves in at one point if you go through the audition process, and that is going to the summer intensives, like I mentioned, to get the contract. This is what I did. It was somewhat stressful, although I chose to have a good positive attitude about it and maintain my work ethic and my commitment and all that, and so that helped me. But yes, it can be a bit stressful because if you're going to the summer programs to hopefully get a job, you're still there with a lot of other people who are probably being considered for the exact same job, And at that point, usually your eggs are all in one basket, and it's hard to, often people who go to these summer programs looking for a job don't have any other plans. So if that falls through, what you gonna do? For me, thankfully, I had some other ideas of what I could do if I didn't get the job. But the one thing I do recommend is that if you can, sort out your summer schedule to go to 2 summer programs that are considering you for a job, if that is possible. I did that. I went to Oklahoma City Ballet and Atlanta Ballet. The funny thing is, I totally thought Atlanta Ballet was like going to be my place and all that. And then I got there and I thought, not so much, maybe not. And I really liked my time in Oklahoma City. Then it turns out there was just some weirdness going on in Atlanta. It turns out they didn't have any spots, totally made it sound like they did. Anyway, that was just kind of a mess. But I'm glad I gave both of them a chance, and it really gave me peace of mind that I was able to sort my summer intensive schedule to where if one didn't work out, I had something else. That is really one of the best safety baskets you can have in a situation like that, because like I mentioned, for dancers auditioning in the summer, it feels pretty insecure, and a lot of times you just are sinking your entire investment to get a job in one summer program, and it could be a bit much because there's a lot weighing on the decision of the artistic staff just at that one summer program. So aside from that advice, I really want to stress to you how important it is to show up at the summer programs just as good or even looking better than you did at the audition. Don't let yourself fall out of shape. I know this is really hard. A lot of times the month of May and June is kind of like dicey for people. A lot of times year-round programs will end, and then you have a couple weeks, and then you have to go to summer programs. I know that's really hard because a lot of times you really want to make a good first impression. On the first day, be in shape, and that's hard. So no matter what, try to stay in shape over the break and just really show up looking your best. I'll make a video sometime about giving you tips on how to stay in shape over kind of a rest period during the year. But basically, go to the gym, do what you need to do. I do bar in my living room sometimes when I'm at home if I can't make it to a studio or there aren't classes or something like that. Just do what you need to do to show up to impress them even more than you did in that audition. And continue that throughout the summer program. Continue to put forth the best effort, have a good attitude, be very pleasant to work with. Remember that a lot of times companies these days have this process set in place so that they can really get to know you and get to watch you over multiple weeks, so that they know your behaviors, not just your dancing, because they have an idea after seeing you dance what kind of dancer you are. And not that that isn't still tested at summer programs, but what they're really getting to see is how do you work? Do you really put your best foot forward every day? Do you work hard every day? Are you smart? Do you work well with people? Are you friendly? Are you the kind of dancer they want to work with as an employee? So don't just keep your dancing on point, but make sure that just your general presence that you put out every single day is one that is pleasant and that people just really want to work with. Make sure that they get to know you. Invest your time in yourself and just be open. Communicate when necessary with the people that you interact with. Don't stay to yourself, stand in the back. Put yourself out there. Don't be pushy, but stand in the front so they see you. Make it known that you are there to be seen, you are there to participate, and hopefully get an offer. Because some people, although everyone tends to want that if they decide to go, they don't put forth the image that they're there to really try to get it. You gotta come off as if you want it. I mean, don't be annoying, don't be an eager beaver, don't be pushy. Be a genuine person to work with, but just remember that a lot of people will go and feel discouraged, like, oh, they don't see me, and they'll just continue to stand in the back corner and just act like their behavior or their efforts don't really matter. They will see you, it does count, so just remember all that, and I will end it there. I want to wish you the very best of luck this year if you are going to audition. I'm planning on doing a few company auditions as well, probably, so I might see you there at a few of them, who knows. But I really hope that this series has been very beneficial for you. I've enjoyed making it, and I really hope that it reaches someone and maybe ups your game a little bit. So anyway, do share this with a friend if you thought this was helpful, or that it might be even more helpful for a friend you know that is looking to audition. And make sure to check out my Facebook page that I have for Twin Talks Ballet. Give it a like to get more updates from me, and subscribe if you're not already. Goodbye!